Hi guys, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. This reading is an all-sign reading. It is a broad spectrum reading. You need to figure out if and where it fits, if at all. If it doesn't fit, that's okay. It doesn't mean anything's broken or wrong. It just might mean that you're working on something different at this time. It's originally created for Friday the 14th of April, but it's not solely set for that date. If you're seeing it on a different date, and it still makes sense, by all means utilize the reading. For those of you that are new, please check the drop-down menu underneath any of my daily readings. In there, it tells you some housekeeping rules, things I want you to think about when utilizing the channel, what decks I'm using, how to follow me on Instagram or at my Facebook business page to request a private reading. Know that I will never reach out to you to sell you a reading. Also, simple ways to support the channel. You can hit that thumbs up button. You can subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. You can share the video out or leave me a question or comment. I greatly appreciate all of that. Just so you know, I might be referring back to the Sunday underpinning energy. That is the reading that goes out on Sunday that shows another layer of what's going on during this week. So if you hear me mentioning cards that you don't see in this reading, I'm usually referring back to that reading, and that populates in the lower left-hand corner. So at the end of this reading, so you can watch it if you'd like. Let's see what these cards want us to know. Okay, so our card for today is the Eight of Cups, Eight of Water. It's interesting to me, I'll say this right out of the gate because this is bringing me to the Sunday underpinning reading, because the Sunday underpinning reading, which we saw twice in Sunday, was the Six of Wands, and the depiction in this deck was that Six of Wands was that boat being lifted up by that air balloon, right? That hot air balloon with the boat attached to it. And what I find interesting here is this man is walking away towards a boat, right? Towards getting into that Six of Wands energy that underpins this, that sort of emotion, like by honoring ourselves, we're honoring our emotions, how we feel about a situation. The Eight of Cups would often indicate walking away, taking the higher road, acknowledging that a situation isn't working for us emotionally and moving forward towards something that does, right? And so as I see him fixating on that boat, it's like, to me, this feels like navigating our emotions. There's this treasure box at his feet, meaning there's something good to be had out of this decision or this understanding that we're coming to regarding our emotions around a situation. Even if they don't feel good, they're leading us to the truth of what does. And they may be prompting us towards seeking out what feels better, and getting in our boat, so to speak, metaphorically, and heading towards that. We have to do that through that Six of Wands energy, which is honoring and acknowledging ourselves from a sort of a spiritual place and moving forward in how we feel, both emotionally and probably spiritually, towards, our better horizon in a way. And the reason why I say better horizon is the grounding stone for this week is that word vision. So there's this bigger picture that we may be looking at within our situations that we want to head towards, and that's completely okay and acceptable. And there is a treasure, so to speak, or something to be gained from this wisdom, from this knowledge, from this evolution or this choice that we're making. It doesn't necessarily mean that we have to completely depart or detach or break off from the situation, but we certainly have to listen to how we're feeling about it and then make choices from that place that honor ourselves. That would be the Six of Wands in this, or that honor our truth and what we sort of deserve, want, desire, because that would also be associated with the Six of Wands. And ultimately, the Six of Wands is a celebratory card, so we're leading ourselves to a better outcome. That's that sort of treasure chest at his feet. There is something here that we know isn't maybe the way we want it to be, and we need to sort of take the steps, make the choices, take action towards it, heading towards that outcome or that desired dream, vision, something different, a new dawn, so to speak. Let's look at the Rose Oracle. Interesting. We have the Anointed, answer the call, leadership, empowerment, and soul gifts. Did we not see the Judgment card yesterday? Oh no, 2 days ago we did, because that's always about answering the call too. The Anointed makes me think, just the phrase itself makes me think, honoring ourselves, putting ourselves on a higher level, or acknowledging our desires, our needs, our emotional needs certainly too. And then answering that call and moving towards that, right? Treating ourselves as if we are sort of, I don't know, anointed or special. Putting ourselves first. I like the color contrast, again, between the blue and the pink between these cards. It gives me this balance of masculine and feminine. It gives me a feeling of we're willing to at least look and reflect on what is going on, what doesn't feel right, and then taking decisions or making decisions with ourselves being first in that decision-making process. And there's nothing wrong with that. We're not doing this from a place of spite, harm, or vindictiveness. It's from a place of almost, I don't know if self-preservation is the right word, but it's from self-care, certainly, is my feeling, especially with the Eight of Cups there. Let's look at the clarifiers. We have the Sun, which we see that new dawn around the boat here. So this is the Sun rising. This is always a positive card. It's Leo energy. It's very energizing. It's a celebratory card. It's oftentimes a card of clarity, of yes, of positivity. It's one of the most positive cards in the deck. So moving towards our light, our truth, what we know to be true, what empowers us, what energizes us is going to be key today. We have the Hierophant. This is Taurian energy. Also, we have two major arcana here. So this move, although it may feel a little bit cumbersome or emotional for ourselves, it ultimately should be empowering. The fact that Hierophant's here is he's about spiritual wisdom, right? So there's a truth in this that we know, that we need to honor, that the sun is shining its light down upon and energizing and telling us, you need to kind of make this move or take this chance, make this change within how we operate or how we relate to a situation and shift that. The last card is the Queen of Swords. I like that she's positioned completely towards the future. She is air energy, so she's going to be about the mind and how we communicate, but she's also a queen, so she's cups. So there's this aspect of the emotions that's involved, but we're going to lead with logic, wisdom, spiritual wisdom with the Hierophant here, but also just mental wisdom in kind of cutting away the fluff, the things that don't work for us. The sun also will cut through those clouds that we see around the Queen of Wands, right? She's also above those clouds, seeing above the confusion, chaos, whatever's left over within, the relationship or situation that we're dealing with. She's seeing the bigger, brighter picture and moving towards that, making sort of logical decisions and communicating those decisions, whether it's, to the situation or the people involved or just solely to ourselves, but we're moving forward in that truth. The swords oftentimes represent the truth of a matter. And it can be our own personal truth in how we feel and what we know to be spiritually true for ourselves. So holding tight to that, keeping focus on that through the Queen is going to be key. That's like the idea of the grounding stone of keeping sight on our vision. She's looking long term here. She's looking way into the future and making that happen. Let's go to the grounding stone. Interesting. So the grounding stone, yesterday's was health, today is wealth. It's just funny to me that they rhyme. So if yesterday we were grounding in our health around a situation, our mental health, our emotional health, our spiritual health, what makes us feel better, think better, act better, all of that. To me, this brings about this idea of wealth. And wealth can be obviously financial, right? But wealth can also just indicate feeling abundant, feeling like we have everything that we need, the resources that we need to be able to move forward. With this sun, the Hierophant, and the Queen of Swords, they're all working together to kind of move us forward in a positive way. Also, this wealth makes me think of that treasure chest at his feet in the Eight of Cups. We may be departing something that we didn't necessarily think or want to have to let go or move away from or shift or change. But ultimately, it is leading us to a more whole, abundant feeling. And that abundance can be in the form of like actual money, but it can also just be in like spiritual well-being or mental well-being, connection to ourselves, you know, honoring of ourselves. And that brings about sort of not only our health in the situation, but also shows us what we have within that situation, or the wealth that we can create from the choices that we make. I hope that makes sense, you guys. That is your reading for the day. Please like the video, share the video out, leave me a question or comment, and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you get notified. I do put out daily content. And I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow to see how this energy changes. It should be a very powerful day of choice. Take care. Bye-bye.